Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is June 29th. It is a Thursday. It's Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, which is all green, and the stock market as we get ready for the stock market to open in the next 5 minutes. Of course, we'll peek around at a couple of other things like gold, the dollar, look at news and see if there's anything important going on out there. We've got some interesting action happening in various aspects of the market. Gold is getting crushed this morning, which, of course, that's something have been cheering for over here in order to be more optimistic about the stock market and the cryptocurrency market. So it's good that we're seeing that happening over there. But we'll go ahead and talk about Bitcoin as we get ready to start the day. Think of any kind of announcements for today. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting a video out today. Now, I've already gotten 4 videos out so far this week. We've done Markets in the Morning every day. I've gotten 4 videos out this week. Today I have a lot to work on. We'll have a video again tomorrow. That gives a good chance to check out bcbacker.com for those who haven't checked it out yet, with all the content on there. I'll go through this later. But anyway, over 40 videos. If you guys want to catch up on that, today's the perfect day to do it, because there won't be a video put out today. Other news. There was something else to cover. What was it? I don't know. I got distracted. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and just dive on into what's going on with markets this morning. We've got everything is in the green today. So a great day with Bitcoin. Obviously, this is just what we were kind of hoping for last week when we got our push up, to sit here and be able to just stall out and hold out here. Things have been looking just fine. We've been talking about this in here. I mean, it's kind of like we're at that moment of like, has it already started? Right? Have we already started rampaging to the upside? When you get an ABC correction like that to complete, like we had from April all the way here through June, and then we get fired up like that, we talked about last week, like we just want to kind of hold. Like it would be totally fine and expected that we just stall, but that we don't have some deep fall back. And that's exactly what we've had happening in here. And really exactly the same exact structure we were kind of hoping for. So far, so good. And we'll see how this keeps going into the weekend as we get a little bit closer. Otherwise, things are looking just fine and dandy so far with Bitcoin. As for XRP, not a whole lot to say in here as this range just continues going on. We can kind of compare that to past stuff. Here in a minute, we've kind of talked about that, but we could do that here. Bitcoin Cash, of course, Bitcoin Cash just, man, the showstopper, up 9% today. After coming off of this Wyckoff accumulation, just absolutely just crushing it. So what a stunner to go in and do that. And still no signs of pulling back just yet. So keep going, Bitcoin Cash. As for the stock's been wobbly this morning. It's kind of interesting. We got Q1 GDP that came out today. And we had 2% GDP for Q1. Expectations were 1.4%. So the economy was growing faster than expected. We also had first-time unemployment came in a little bit lower. The last few weeks, we've had like 264,000 unemployment. This time's like 235. So that's a step down from what we have been seeing. Stock market was looking pretty good prior to opening. Like we had actually most things in the green. Like the Dow was up like 100 points. It's really shifted here now as we've gotten back to the opening. So the opening's about to happen right now, but we're now flipping over here into the red. So we can kind of see the order of these. Coinbase actually ended up having another up day. So the day prior was up 12%. Yesterday it did end up closing up 1% again. But we'll see how things do open as we get fired away right now. I think we're still about 30 seconds away from opening. The US dollar currency index has taken a shift up this morning in here. So we're seeing green here in the DXY, of course, strength in the dollar, pull back in metals as gold continues to fall off that height. That was a pretty nerve-wracking moment as we got back to the all-time high. I own gold. I own quite a bit of gold, but I'm not cheering for gold. It's really just a hedge trade of end of times type of scenario for me holding on to gold. I'd much rather see it get pushed back hard in order for the stock market and for cryptos to have a better chance. And so far, I mean, we just keep breaking and breaking and breaking in gold. Fantastic to see that. And then we're now showing all these optimistic signs and structures and completions of ABCs on Bitcoin to start rampaging its way back up. We're just kind of seeing those inverse relationships happening in here. Strong structure over here for Bitcoin coming in with a super weak action happening over here for gold as it just keeps breaking down and breaking down. So good stuff happening there. That was a nerve-wracking moment back there in late April, early May as that was going on. As for the altcoin market, still just in the Wyckoff accumulation, like the things we've seen everywhere. We've seen these on dozens of charts, the same exact thing. The optimistic thing, of course, is seeing a couple of them get an opportunity to go for that big stunning breakout. That's what we're kind of waiting for the whole market, if we can get these sprinkled throughout. Otherwise, as for current price action today, it's just a green day. I think we can all take a green day. All good. And yeah, there we go. Let me see. There we have it. Should you get to there? Boom, there we go. Okay. So I'm not sure there is too much to say outside of today. Oh, XRP is what we were talking about. Leaning back really on the video we talked about yesterday, right? So, you know, if you look at, this is just kind of the same amount of time of what we had. So if you didn't get a chance to catch yesterday's video, hard for me to even remember what it was about. It's been a blur. I've been doing so many videos, man. You know, and we've shown this over there on XRP, just that this is where we had all of this. And when this idea was pulled from months ago, it was, you know, you guys have definitely seen this pushed here on this structure over and over. But this was the thing we were looking for. And what I always talked about too, is when we had this happen back in 2020, that's when we heard everybody screaming, manipulation, manipulation, we're going back lower. So I was saying, hey, you know, get prepared. We're get prepared to hear manipulation, manipulation, the 10 to 12Kers to come back. It didn't end up getting that bad, but so it sounds like the SEC had to come in and do some work to try to push that sentiment down on its own. But either way, for this type of structure to happen in here, it's that we would have to be in a moment like this, that we had come out of just like a capitulation moment happening in here, working our way up, going in there to start rocking and rolling. So if we look at XRP, what's the thing that we've been talking about a lot? We've been talking about hits the 200-day moving average, right? It happens deep in here. What is significant about this? This is the FTX collapse. The last time we had something like this, right, that was so similar was just like this. And this is, again, our C19 crash that ends up happening. Let's see if we can get this over here. So once again, we have this, right? And so if you missed it I think I put it in yesterday's video. Again, it's starting to get a blur. There's so many videos going out. That even if Bitcoin does fire up to the upside, it could still be a minute before XRP could get some type of big breakout to end up happening. I was sending this in a text message to someone today. Let's go here. Let's go back. There we go. I still have the little lines there. That this is that same moment, right? So here's that correction for Bitcoin. Here's what we're just talking about. And that would be like Bitcoin being here currently right now, right? And that we're just kind of drifting here for XRP, and that drift could still continue. And then just, it has to wait till later to finally get taken off. And I think what's kind of happening right now in the market is I think you're coming off of a couple of different highs for the XRP community. One, getting back to the top of the range. Two, you were getting a lot of Twitter spaces telling you and YouTube videos telling you everything is over, right? And then nothing has happened. So today is Thursday, right? That's a day we know that possibly we could end up getting a result. At least that's what Jeremy Hogan says, the most likely time that Judge Torres releases her summary judgments is on Thursdays or on Fridays, so we're on a day where we can have that. But everybody's, coming off the high of it's over, it's over, it's over. Right, all the Twitter spaces that were being held, it's over, and then nothing came from that. And then the Hinman emails, and nothing came from that in regards to price action, right? So there wasn't anything that was shocking to the XRP community, at least. Those were all things that they knew. So when we have price action pulling down, you can tell, you can just see it out there. Sentiment is down. That's when you start. And there's certain things you could see when sentiment is down. There's more infighting, right? There's more and there's tons of that over there on Twitter right now. So much fighting that's just happening out there. That is just totally indicative of sentiment in a market. So, I think we're getting closer to it. And I think the pain trade may be if Bitcoin goes up and XRP stays down here. If you haven't been in that pain trade has happened so many times in this market. You do you, but if you're not emotionally and mentally prepared for a pain trade of Bitcoin going up and XRP going sideways, that could definitely happen just in something even as simple as this right in here, where that's exactly what happened the last time we did it. We had this exact same thing happen. Is that Bitcoin's actually marching up right here and XRP waits to the very last second. But I think we're really close. I think everybody asks when, right? Everybody asks when, Moon. Look, I know you can't predict time, but I need you to do your best. Can you just kind of guess when? It's like, why? Why are we doing this? Why? But if you want to go based off of just how we have been doing, right? If you want to say, well, how have we been doing, right? The nice thing about this fractal, sometimes we'll have to modify them to get them to fit. This is not modified. This is to scale on time. So how are we doing on time? Pretty dang close, right? And if that's the case, you're not looking too long. It looks like a lot of excitement could be coming to the market just within the next month or two, if that trajectory continues. So month or two, exciting times in the market. Blockchain Backer just predicted time. It's not a time prediction. It's if we continue moving at the velocity that we have a month or two, right? It's just how we've been doing. Right? Even that right there. Look at this. July 18th. It's wild. Wild on July 18th. Hurry up, riddlers. Make your July 18th riddles. All right. Time to be serious. All right, it's just a green day in the market, guys. Not much in regards to... So it's green, right? You got a move over here in like Solana and Bitcoin Cash. There's no real breakout in Solana yet, but it's getting a decent recovery. But Bitcoin Cash is obviously the one in the breakout. None of the other ones are really in breakouts just yet. So it is nice to see green, but it's not like breakouts have happened with them just yet. I think... the reason why I'm kind of like, well, it's just green, but not a whole lot of breakouts is because just my thoughts are we're just still working in here. It's once we can get a breakout from up here, I think it's going to get really exciting in this market. But like I said, I thought we were going to just kind of trend sideways throughout the whole week. And this has been kind of the idea, and that we still just have. But that next week could be really exciting, right? Or maybe even this weekend, right? So... I think we're kind of nearing the end of this week long. How long have we been in here? 21st? Only 8 days. Wow. That, this will be coming to a conclusion here pretty soon. That's right. Crypto Dogs, BCB said it on July 18th. It's to the moon. Hurry up, riddlers, write your riddles. Have it all pointing at July 18th and then say, see, how could I not have known if I didn't know? Because I know. Ooh. All right, time to stop being a goofball. Let's jump into the chat. Linton Dell says, BCB, do you have any past history data where assets only complete 3 super cycles before rolling over? Could we do a 4th or a 5th super cycle? Right. So, first of all, I don't know if I've ever seen anything do super cycles the way Bitcoin has. I've not discovered anything on charts to do anything like that before. That was discovered back in like 2019, that when we were already working on that whole bear in 2018, and then we're doing retraces, it was just like, wait a minute, how is this possible? And then going way deep into the past and be like, how is this possible? Every single super cycle is like nearly the same percentage. And this is unreal. And I don't have examples outside of the crypto market to point to things like that before. So, the big question, right? So the big debate when it comes to like a retracement is just Elliott wave theory, is that, we've done 3 super cycles, right? We've pointed to them 100 times, BLX. And just for anybody watching, if the first thought that comes to your mind is that this is cycle 1, this is cycle 2, this is cycle 3, and this is cycle 4, and if you're going to argue block reward halvings, I can't help you at this point. I can't dive into this whole thing. We've done super cycles many times. It's that this is super cycle 1, this is super cycle 2, and this is super cycle 3, and that this is one whole cycle, this is one whole cycle, and this is one whole cycle, right? And to simplify, I'll do it. I will be kind. Where are we? We're right here. Okay. Boy, TradingView really has to get this stuff fixed so we can grab these charts a lot easier, because this is silly, TradingView. Okay. So why would this be a cycle? Why would this be a cycle? And why would this whole thing be a cycle? And why wouldn't this be its own cycle in itself, right? Why would that still be a part of this entire cycle? And that would be because this will be the 3rd cycle that we have done of this magnitude, right? And that even in our pausing period, still part of the same cycle, we have that exact same correction even happen here. You see it: crash, retrace, reaccumulation, breakout. Crash, retrace, reaccumulation with the ABC. You see it right here. A, B, boom, C. Right in here. You see it. A, B, boom, C. As it pulls up off the lows, and then we go on to complete it. So it's one long cycle of a super cycle, right? And so if you assume that, we have one cycle, then we have 2 cycles, and then we have 3 cycles, well, then that makes an Elliott wave count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we have 5 waves, right, do we need to have a deeper pull down after this to go much lower? So that's why the big debate here that I bring up is because everybody's going to immediately jump to 4-year cycles, block reward halvings. We just repeat, we just keep going. And that's why I often bring up, oh, sweet, stock market's gone back to green. I bring up, well, we realize that Bitcoin was created. Let's go to this one. We do realize Bitcoin was created right here, right? And we do realize that the stock market is like really close to a 4.236 extension, right? I mean, we do realize that each time Bitcoin has gone into a bull run, it's right when the Dow Jones is breaking out. Each time Bitcoin has a bull run, it is literally in these breakouts. So when Bitcoin has broken out from its all-time high, it all occurred at these moments in the stock market. So is the stock market just going here, or is the stock market going to keep plowing up much higher, right? Big question, big debate. And so the bigger thing is like, okay, if that's true, right? If the stock market will stop, and if every bull run for Bitcoin was mandatory on a breakout moment for the Dow, and if Bitcoin has already done 5 waves and with 3 super cycles within it, what happens when Bitcoin gets back into retracements here? Is Bitcoin able to clear through here? Or does this count as, A, B, C? So your question was, do you have any past history where assets only do complete 3 super cycles before rolling over? Could we do a 4th and a 5th super cycle? And it's all about, this all stems back to Elliott wave theory. Elliott wave theory proposes that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by A, B, C. So we definitely have 3 super cycles of near identical size. And the question is, what does that matter? Is it just super cycles that all matter? And when it comes to Elliott waves on that big of a scale, they don't really matter. You can argue, I put out a video on Tuesday discussing Ethereum and discussing expanded flats. And for those who were here in 2022, we spent a lot of time focusing on this portion of Bitcoin back in 2014. And then we spent a lot of time talking about this, and that right here at the peak of the market. And what I was seeing at that time and explaining to everybody at that time is that we were acting exactly like we do deep in a bear market, that the price behavior that was happening at the very top of Bitcoin was like deep in a bear market. So, there's the argument out there that, of course, Bitcoin's in an expanded flat as well. The only problem with Bitcoin being an expanded flat is it has to have that. The stock market's always been a mandatory part of it. And it feels like I have to, even after 4 years of doing this, I have to have this debate with people, and people would dismiss it and not listen to it. I think a good example of that is just the viewership on the Ethereum video I put out. I put out a video on XRP, gets 50,000 views, gets shared by a bunch of other YouTubers. And in that video, I'm specifically saying, depending on Ethereum, and I'll put out a video on Ethereum. So then I put out the video on Ethereum, lowest views ever. So people just kind of want to hear what they want to hear and put their earmuffs on. So yeah, if Elliott wave theory would tell us no. Elliott wave theory would tell us we pull back down after a retracement. That's what, just simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. We pull back down. However, if the stock market, like I've said, the thing that can get me to change my mind, because all I'm doing is basing it off of facts. If this happens, then that happened, right? If stock market breaks from great financial highs, then Bitcoin breaks out of multi-year bear market, goes on bull run. If stock market breaks from 3-year range, then Bitcoin breaks from multi-year bear market. If Dow Jones breaks from broadening triangle, expanding triangle, then Bitcoin goes on bull run and leaves multi-year bear market, right? That's just the statistical truth. We can look at block reward halvings and we can try to say it's block reward halvings, but these are also facts at the exact same time. So the thing that would get me to say, okay, well, there's something happening that can contribute to Bitcoin setting a new all-time high, and that's that if new all-time high gets set in stock market. If new all-time high gets set, the 3 prior times that has happened were bull runs, right? So, we can believe in magic of fourth super cycle, fifth super cycle, sixth super cycle, all that stuff. But there does seem to be that this is a mandatory requirement. So should we get that? You'll see me kind of calm down a little bit in regards to being so, no matter what, I'm going to be concerned about retracements. It's just what's going to happen. There's no question. I'm just going to be worried about them. But where I can start having like some optimism at the retracements, like real optimism, is if the Dow gets into a new all-time high. And even then, it's still going to be some caution for the Dow at a new all-time high, because most people, when you see a new all-time high, what's the first thing they think? They think it's going to go insanely euphoric and insanely crazy. I mean, it's what happened with Bitcoin, not understanding that this whole thing was just distribution, in an expanded flat, or even if you want to call it an expanded flat, you do this, you go set a slightly new higher high. So even if a new all-time high comes, doesn't mean it will last forever. It could just be like what we saw with Ethereum. It could just be like what we saw with Bitcoin. That would be normal too, right? That's exactly what we saw. I'm not sure how well they work on here. Right, gets above 3.618, sets the new all-time high. YOLO, just kidding, right? Every time I look at this, man, I just can't believe people don't watch that Ethereum video. You guys are silly. You guys are silly goofballs. But yeah, anyway, I got to move on. That was a long answer on your question. Robert Baker. Morning, BCB. What are your thoughts on the FTT chart? Seems to be some hype around FTX 2.0 and FTT. Seeing more green action. Thanks, as always. I watched a video of somebody I respect in the crypto market a while back, and he talked a lot about venture capitalists in the crypto market. And a lot of times when things fail, when projects fail, the last people who are going to lose in this market are going to be the venture capitalists. So I don't know how much money is tied up into all of that. And my bet, any resurgence of FTT, anything that recovers of FTT or FTX, it is just venture capitalists. It's just the people who put all their money into this business, doing their best they can to suck as much back out of the market to repay themselves before they abandon ship entirely. So anything happening with FTT, I probably am going to distrust it. You watch something like, you could do whatever you want, but the reality is you're picking something where the dude is going to go to prison, right? Billions of dollars were lost. He was siphoning money out and created a token that was backed by literally nothing and did nothing but like posted as collateral. It has no value. It doesn't do anything. So it's just a bunch of degens flipping it back and forth. So you do what you want, but I'm probably not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole. Cam Jong-un, thank you. First time in a long time. A comment I've seen a lot during your success in the last bull runs. We won't have him for too long. He's too good. One of the big boys will definitely scoop him up. Have you received any offers from any of the big boys? No. I mean, I get offers for stuff all the time, but there's been nothing like, if you're thinking like a Goldman Sachs thing or something like that. No, that's never happened. I'm also very difficult to get in contact with, which I know that sounds crazy, Twitter and everything like that. But if somebody wanted to directly get in contact with me about an offer or something like that, I don't post like an email address to be like, submit offers here and then let's have an open dialogue and discussion. I don't accept sponsors. I don't even accept sponsors on the channel. I don't have affiliate links on the channel. So I don't even kind of present that contact information to reach out to me easily for that type of communication. So I don't know. But nothing like that. I mean, I get offers for stuff all the time, but nothing like a big bank wanting me. You'd be surprised. You would have thought that like companies like Coinbase would have. I mean, the fact that they were hiring at the literal top, it's almost hard to believe. Because they clearly knew. They IPO'd at the top. Like they IPO'd at the day of the literal top, but then they kept going on hiring blitz. It was odd. All right. JR, thank you very much, Kim Jong. It was very generous. Thank you very much. JR Flight says, have you found any buying opportunities in this past week? No, I haven't seen anything that's like dip worthy to grab this week for me. And, you know, it's not to say they aren't, right? I mean, you could see Bitcoin just pop out and altcoins already go with it and the bottom was already in. But if I'm for me personally, if I'm putting any more money in this market, maybe. And look, to be fair, I have not been like diving through every little altcoin in here this past week. This has been one of the craziest weeks of my life in regards to busyness. Multiple 9 p.m. nights, you know, starting at 5 a.m., finishing at 9 p.m. It's been with, you know, this thing getting launched and everything like that. To be diving deep into a lot of these hasn't been like my priority of like, what is going on with Algorand? Let's spend 30 minutes on this. I just haven't had the time to do something like that. Maybe this weekend. I actually do think I'm going to get this weekend off. That's going to be the most amazing thing in the history of all time, is that I might actually have the weekend off too. And then that whenever I have like free time and I'm like, my best work always comes when I'm not like rushed on time, when I'm really just kind of sitting there chilling, even like laying in bed with my iPad and just kind of goofing off on some charts and going back and forth. But as for anything that has screamed at me, like it's been like on a buy list and gotten to a price that I'm wanting to buy this week, there hasn't been anything this week. So that really got accomplished a couple of weeks ago, and just haven't done anything in the last week or two. I don't think I did anything last week. And this week's just been we've been holding up, so it's been nice. But thank you, JR. Paul Santos. How about that Carvana I mentioned a couple of weeks ago back on my first super chat? I used BC Backer's previous takeovers and I'm thinking about narratives. What is going on with Carvana? Carvana, right? Isn't that what it is? Carvana. Is that it? Yeah, I mean, it looks reversally. I mean, what was it down? Oh my gosh. You're telling me a car vending machine company fell 99%? No. Dang, man, that's crazy. And a little over a year and a half falling 99%. But dude, look at that recovery. Holy cow. 674%. Wild. Yeah, I don't know what else to think of that, man, except volatility. Crazy, man. JBS says, hey, BCBS, wanted to say your last 3 videos have been fire, and I'm so excited you're back to doing videos. I love Markets of the Morning, too. Keep it up, brother. We so appreciate you. Oh, man. Thank you very much, JBS. Yeah, videos are like my jam. Every day, even like till this day, today, before I go live, you know, I have to step back for a second, take a couple of deep breaths, get ready, and kind of like mentally prepare myself, and then go live, because as you know, you can just be hanging out with your feet up, chilling, everything before you go live. But once you go live, that mouth has to keep running. There's no stopping. The mouth has to keep going. I sometimes goof off with you guys and talk about, you know, we can't have any dead air. Like it's like one of the rules of radio, it's one of the rules of streaming, is that there shouldn't be any dead air and that you just keep going and going and going. And I'll mess with you guys sometimes. We're like, I'm going to shush until we get to 600 likes. And then I don't talk. But that's like the big golden no-no. So it's always like, you know, when you get on here, it's on, it's game on, you keep going. And then finally, when you hit that end stream button, you're like, breathe, breathe. And it still is, feels weird to me. It's still crazy to go like that. But when it comes to videos and stuff, that's where I get to really think about things for a long time before I put them in. I get to edit it and fine tune it and present it the way I want. I get to get rid of all the little, so let's go, right? Those little clickings that we naturally do that we don't think about, or big deep breaths, or anytime you clear your throat and everything. And I get to just kind of present it the way I want, my video the way I want. And that's my favorite format to do. And I know that a lot of you guys have missed that. And I knew that. And I've always known they were coming back. And I always knew that people probably think I'm just not interested in making videos anymore, not knowing I'm making ridiculous amounts of videos. They're just not on the YouTube channel, but they're available over here. And that once that gets done, we'll be back. But at the same time, I didn't want to which I did in the markets in the morning. I was always like, yeah, I guess I'm working on the course, but I didn't actually, I don't think I really ever talked about it in actual YouTube videos. I never talked about it on Twitter. I really only kind of occasionally brought it up here in the live streams. But I always see that was a little click. But I always knew the videos would come back, and I tried to assure you guys to let you know I knew, I understood, I agreed with you whenever you guys would post it on Twitter and you say, Markets in the Morning isn't for me, I miss the videos. It's I know, I understand. And I always knew they'd come back. We'll get there. Yeah, and so we've got 4 this week. So I think we'll end with 5, right? So there's not going to be one today. So again, that's a perfect chance to go watch 40 videos from me over here on bcbacker.com. There won't be one today. I will be on the BitBoy YouTube this morning in an hour and a half from now. And then I've got other work I have to do all day today. And then on Friday, tomorrow, we'll be back. We'll have Markets in the Morning. We'll have the YouTube video. And then we'll all get ready to enjoy a nice summer weekend and kick off the transition into July. It'll be the end of the first half of the year, the end of the second quarter. And we'll say goodbye, June, and hello, July, starting this weekend. July always just represents summer coolness. Definitely not cool. Hot AF. But, you know. All right. We're just kind of rambling at this point. Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing chats. Okay. Carvana, we did that. And then JBS, the last 3 videos have been fire. Thank you very much. All right. Krapik says, expressing gratitude today for the one and only BCB helping keep emotions in check for almost 3 years now. I appreciate you, dog. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie, or Aunt. John Foley says, hey, I'm just wondering, what are your top 4 or 5 holds? I've seen you mention XRP, ETH, and Bitcoin. I'm just curious about the others. Cardano might be in there, and then it might be pretty mixed beyond that. So, I'm not here to sell you on Cardano. The thing about Cardano that it has is it still has developer growth, and the inflation rate. Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Data filter. Smallest to largest. Where are you, Cardano? 3.5%, right? So 3.5% inflation. That puts you in top, some of the top tier statuses in there. So you have the proper inflation and you have developer growth. So Cardano back in the 2021 bull run. So fortunately, if you would have just accumulated the top 10 or the top 20 in 2018 and 19 and 2020, only 2 out of 10 would have gone into a bull run. My number 1 accumulation was XRP. We did not go into a massive run. My number 2 accumulation was Cardano, and it was one of the biggest ones. So that one really kind of saved the day for a lot. Now, again, there in my top 5 also was Bitcoin and Ethereum. So those two also did as well. But Cardano was really the big dog, and Cardano, just like in that period too, showing developer growth, and just so I don't know if Cardano will have that same type of move. I doubt it'll have those same types of percentages again, but it matches some of the things that are important. But I'm not sure of number 5, and I think like number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, they're almost like identical. I think is the way I have them structured. They're all just kind of similar dollar values. So, all right. Hawkeye says, hey, is Ethereum a good hedge at current prices for the super cycle, possibly to roll into alts later, considering percentages? Is Ethereum a good hedge at current prices for the super cycle possibility to roll into alts later, considering percentages? I think you're going to be hard to find that you're going to somehow time. You're talking about doing a rotation at some point. I think you're going to be hard to find. So you're going to be hard pressed to find that, because this is the first time that Ethereum has not acted like an altcoin. And I don't think most people were paying attention to that. Ethereum is not acting like an altcoin at all. And so this will be the first time to have some behavior like this happen in Ethereum, and you're trying to figure out kind of like a time. It sounds like a rotation time too, right? It's talking about hedging. I consider, for me, Bitcoin's more of the hedge, but the what has happened with Ethereum has kind of shifted it more into kind of that Bitcoin role. And I do understand there's a lot of resentment, anger towards people up near the top at Ethereum. But unfortunately for people, they let that get in the way of looking at everything else that's going on with the bigger picture. And things I sometimes have conversations with people, and I tell them, all right, who hates the New England Patriots, right? Everybody. Everybody hates the New England Patriots. You know who doesn't hate New England Patriots? The New England Patriots fans. They don't care, right? They don't care at all. Reverse all these roles, right? Reverse all of them to where Ripple is the one who's the Ethereum people. XRP is the one who's gotten all the, the clarity. And Ethereum's the one that's been casted into the shadows, but XRP is rocking, right? Would you be mad? No. Would you hate XRP? Would you just hate them? Would you hate the people at Ripple? No, because you own it, right? And I think we don't remove ourselves from that and think of it in that way. Ponder it like that for a minute, a little bit, and maybe start thinking a little bit more clearly. But yeah. As for hedging, I don't know about hedging. I don't know about hedging with Ethereum. I mean, I own some. It's my 3rd largest hold, and we'll see how it goes. But as regards to like hedging and timing and percentages versus other things, it's gonna be a difficult one. Chris DeLeon says, hit that like, ready for BCB beach barbecue party. All right. If XRP gets above $9 at any point, we will try to figure out how to organize a beach party. I wonder how you rent out a beach. All right, Pat gifted 5 blockchain backer memberships. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it, Pat. You do that like every day. Thank you. Ken Beat says, thank you for staying so level-headed. It's so hard to keep emotions out of it. Your thoughts when to exit BCH? Of course, says 10K, 18K still saying, well, we're still talking about it. I wait on the market. That's going to be, it's totally one of just like paying attention to the rest of the market in Bitcoin. I think it's going to just top wherever it's going to top with the altcoin market. So looking for those signs. And so, things of like Bitcoin doing something like this, getting back to like, if we get back to the retracements and then it starts falling and then it goes into a retracement, but the altcoin market rocks into it, that is likely the point of it. And the target's not going to matter, right? So it's either one, does it hit out to a 4.236 extension? If it doesn't hit out to a 4.236 extension, which seems pretty hard pressed, it's going to be able to do that. To then just paying attention to what Bitcoin's doing in its retracements. I think it's going to be a broader exit. Like, I don't think it doesn't seem that everything is going to hit extensions, right? So better be paying close attention to Bitcoin. Brandon Grinstead, thank you very much. First timer, no message. That happens a lot to first timers. I appreciate it, Brandon. Ryan Rendon says, support the channel and smash the like. There we go. Thank you very much, Ryan, big supporter of the channel, man. Met you in Austin. Gino D'Amelio, have you run any fib extensions predicting how higher viewership will grow over the next 12 months? I love your channel. I've been watching since March of 2020. Thank you very much. Man, you've been watching since March of 2020. Like, that's the craziest time to start doing it. Well, I mean, we were positive. We were like one of the only channels that were not saying doom, 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 which is what everybody was doing. If you don't know what was happening here, doom, 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 doom. My thesis is not invalidated. We're still bearish. Doom, 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 doom. We're still going to 12K, 10K. Now all we need is a little bit more of a move up. And this is going to be where all those 10 to 12Kers have to capitulate. They have to capitulate. They've got to get out. They've got to ditch their bearish thesis. And then what's going to be the problem as they all ditch their bearish thesis? Congrats, you waited till 50% of the retracement to already happen to become a bull. So what? Everybody YOLOs it at the same time and we get back to retracements. So typical market psychology, but we were here. This is March of 2020. This whole thing right here, all this price behavior we've had is coming off of those March of 2020 price points. And the price action we've had right now is the same amount of time after March of 2020. So fingers crossed, man. It's the good times of like October and November and December of 2020. And no, I have no clue. I bet, obviously, if I continue making Ethereum videos, that is not going to be, it is not going to be the case, Gino. Hong Nguyen says, thank you for what you are, brother. Happy 4th of July. God bless. If Bitcoin crashing is the all-time high, what was your target? Geez, it's amazing how much everybody's like a Bitcoin Cash bull now. I don't know. I'd watch the rest of the market. I mean, the thing is, right, the highest you could possibly even consider imagining, in my thoughts, is just a 4.236 on the market cap. But like I said, that's up near like 10K. Is it going to get that high? It's been a rough ride. Maybe so. But let's see some more growth out of Bitcoin Cash. I still think there's likely to be a pullback that's going to shake all of this positivity everybody suddenly has on Bitcoin Cash, that it'll shake it out really fast. And because this is the sign of strength phase of a Wyckoff accumulation. It's at $241. It has to go back to 141 if it wanted to even just like close that out. So you would see all of that positivity just get wiped off the planet in half a second. Because what would that be? That'd be like a 40% drop, 35% drop. So we'll see. Give it more room. I mean, what we have is we have the sign. We have and of course everybody's FOMOing on it because it's the only one that's done it. Which we've watched. We talked about it weeks ago. It was like, look at the Wyckoff accumulation happening on it. But this isn't the only one who's doing it. We see these everywhere. Bitcoin Cash, just first one to go. If anything, exciting for the rest of the market. But what participants always do in markets is they go chase the first one. They sell off all their stuff that's behind, and then they go chase the first one. When then the next ones start doing it, and they start pulling back, and then they go chase the other one that's starting to do it. rather than just kind of being patient here. But what a great sign! What a great sign to see that happening in the market. I don't think this will be our only one that does this. I think we'll see this we'll see this happening a lot. So it's a good time. I think I even said that in a tweet last night. Good time to be in crypto. Last night I was looking at my Twitter page and I was like, I have like not tweeted in the last 3 days. The only thing I've done is like I always post when I make a video. I've only posted when I've made a video, but that's normal. That's what I always do. But outside of that, there hadn't really been any tweets since Monday. And I was like, okay, let me type out a tweet. So I started typing out a tweet. And I'm like, I haven't done a good job really posting very much on Twitter. So let me see if I can come up with something creative to say. And then I typed good night. And like I almost hit send and I stared at it for a long time. I'm like, okay, that's not good. And then whatever the heck I ended up coming up with last night. What did I come up with? It was terrible. I'll catch you guys in the morning. Have a good night. It's like, okay, BCB, that's weird. You don't do that every day. Then I post another tweet and then I say, okay, no, now I'm for real. Now I'm going to bed. And it's like, why did I even do it? It was like being on like an awkward date. You just keep talking and you shouldn't be. Okay. Crypto Pigeon says July 18th is my birthday. Good deal. Well, you have a nice birthday month. And hopefully you don't put yourself in any leverage positions that month. That would be such a great gift to yourself. Thank you for the support, man. Tay Brown, did you buy any XRP yesterday as it got down to 44? I thought on if that sell-off was good enough to start seeing some upside action. XRP is still just ranging. There's nothing. I don't see anything happening in here indicating anything. We're just ranging like crazy. I'm not seeing anything yet. Right. So if Bitcoin starts breaking out, which of course no XRP holders ever like to hear that because we get told a lot of riddles and conspiracy theories that are very clicky, that get views and sell affiliate links that it's been tied to Bitcoin so much. Like if we can all just accept that, right? Which most can't, because a lot of people overdo it and have over purchased into XRP on a lot of these crazy theories that are out there of what's going to happen with XRP, due to the incentivized financial structure to sell those types of theories to you. Whether it's to get you to buy Ripple equity shares, IPO shares, or affiliate links, all that stuff. But the cold, hard fact is we just follow along with the crypto market. That's how it's always been. And once we can just focus on that, people say, I keep your emotions so in check. I'm not like... Because I see the picture, I don't live in denial of the picture. I live in a clear reality that XRP is tied to the market. If we get some big ruling or something like that, that sounds great, cool. And would we get like XRP wins the case, right? Ripple wins the case. There's this big fat green line, and it takes it straight up to $1, right? We go up 100% in one day. Does that give it enough juice to push it to $10, right? If we go to $1, we go to like a $50 billion market cap, right? Does that positive ruling provide $500 billion worth of liquidity to get it to $10? Maybe not. $500 billion on a positive ruling? Does it like drain a bunch of money and shoot it up to maybe $1 or something? Maybe. But all the way? Nah. So what we have to look to is what are the things that happen with liquidity flows throughout the market. And a lot of it has to just do what's going on with Bitcoin. Now seeing what's going on with Ethereum too at the same time. And so I don't see anything saying we're ready to just go rocking and rolling at this time just yet for XRP. I don't see any like massive bullish divergences saying it's ready to shoot up to the upside just yet. No, as for me, like I said, I haven't bought anything this week. Price did get down an interesting level. But for me, like right now, just buying right now, it's been difficult for me with this week. It's been difficult for me to focus on a lot of this in particular this week. And I haven't like looked at the charts one day and seen like some big fat bloody day, which we did have some yesterday, but nothing where I'm just like, oh man, I can't miss this opportunity. I haven't felt that this week. Ish says, hey BCB, I'm a big believer in Matic and it's my largest investment, similar to how you are with XRP. Could the SEC news deter it from moving with the market? I grabbed Pepe at the target you set. I'm up 2x. What? I didn't even know I had a target for Pepe. I don't recall that because I don't own any Pepe. As for Matic, first time super chatter, I don't know, it's weird, man. I don't know, man. Are we just pumping Pepe on the channel? As for Matic, I don't know, man. Like, really? Boy, yes, you're chatting a lot in there. You did a while back. No, yes, you did. Yes, all caps. In April, and we'll look at Pepe. I guess if it was here, I could see that being a shot to take at it, right? It had to be that. There was no way it was anything higher than that. Yeah. Right. So in this circumstance, like this reminds me of Doge. This reminds me of XRP in 2019 and that like best case scenarios on this structure. Not to say it won't go flying to the upside and go nuts. But looking for anything more than a retrace on this would be not consistent with the structure. That's a thing. If you're still holding, if you're up 100% on a meme coin and you're just continuing to hold after that, you know, you kind of got a juicy move already. So continuing on that. Good luck. I'm not in this. And I'm certainly not even considering getting in at this price. No way. We'll get that off the screen. As for Matic, right? I think the hard thing for me is like, first, I don't know everything about Matic, so you probably know literally 100 times more about Matic than I do. But you know, you're just kind of having the L2 wars, right? Layer 2 wars going on there. Let me see. Let's look at developer growth on Polygon. So developer growth has been down in 2023 and year over year from April of 2022 to April of 2023, it was also down 24%. Now the market average was down 6% during that time for full-time developers. So the market just in general during that time period has a down period of developers because there always seems to be this fall off after the holidays pass by and we get into January, February, March. But then they start to kind of recover in April, May, and June. But the average down for the market was 6%, but Polygon was down 24%. So, you know, where were they moving to, right? Where was the developer growth in regards to L2s? You know, who are you going to have? You're going to have Arbitrum and you're going to have Optimism, right? Arbitrum, not great either, down 30%. year over year, and optimism up 37%. And even in 2023, optimism up 20%. So, is there a shift? I don't know. But yeah, to each their own. I don't own any Matic, but it's not because I just 100% don't believe in Matic. Just when June of 2020 came along, it wasn't on my radar to grab at the time in June. I wasn't really doing much buying at all in June. I don't think I was doing any. But I waited until November and December to do most of my buying in November and December after the FTX collapse. But Matic had already gotten itself really high, right? So even in the FTX collapse, it was still way off the lows, 31 cents all the way up to 75 cents. It was like 150% off the lows. So for me, it just wasn't at a price I was willing to touch. Being up here during the after the FTX collapse ended up happening. Obviously, it's getting back down into more reasonable pricing right now. But the question is, does it have a really bright future? I mean, this still has Wyckoff accumulation that you'd be in spring phase happening in here. But the developer declining stuff, right? We saw that developer declines had an impact in 2021. Will they have an impact in 2023 and 2024? Answer we found out at some point, but we know in 2021 it did. So. All right. Thank you very much. Brave Sigma, blank super chat. Don't know how to click inside a blue box. Okay. Yeah. Just kind of, I guess people are trying to learn. Soul Rack. If you end up giving a blank one, just click inside the blue box. Thank you, Brave. Soul Rack. Celebrate your first super chat and there it is, blank, blank one. Thank you, Soul Rack. Appreciate it. Austin. First timer, piece of backer. When watching this in 2020, I've always wondered why I've never once heard you mention VeChain. It's always so funny. Well, here's the deal. Have you watched every video I've ever done? Then I ask, have you watched any of the last 5 markets in the morning? Because people ask me all the time. All the time. And the thing is, people are like, hey, I have this really great idea. I own VeChain. I'm going to ask blockchain backer to talk about it. And then like, oh, no. Take it all back, BCB. Take it all back. That's not what I was trying to do. Austin, no, but most. Yeah, man. Yeah, VeChain has been getting brought up all the time. It gets brought up all the time. I think in the last week it's been brought up 3 times. You guys you're going to get listed on Coinbase. After me working in supply chains and tracking stuff, I know that the end consumer doesn't care too much. Also, I don't understand why the token itself has any value. People have tried to explain to me because you stake it, then you get VRHO, right? So I think both those tokens, I think it's called VRHO. Sorry if I've got that wrong. That in both of those, coins or tokens will be listed on Coinbase, right? It's moved on to Coinbase's, what do they call it? Their blueprint program. I forget what it's called. But anyway, it means it's coming. They're going to get it on there, right? But for me personally, I don't understand the value of the token in any way. Because not only do I know that end consumers do not care where their stuff is made, it's kind of like saying, I care about privacy. I care about the government not tracking me, but I still use my checking account card and I still use Bitcoin and like at the end of the day, you speak with your wallet, right? You still are allowing them to track you. You don't do anything to protect yourself against it. The same is true for when it comes to like where stuff is made and quality controls on where those things are made. You say you like fundamentally want things to be made in America if you're an American, but you go to Walmart and you buy it and you flip it over and you don't check to see where it's made. And I know that's true. I know it's true. It's what people do. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around why is there a token? And so every time I bring that up, people always say, no, but you see, it's going to be to do with medicine and stuff. And it's like, well, then why are all like the little marketing videos on there from the girl in a store just doing it with like a beanie hat? It's like, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. All the VeChain people know what I'm talking about. Like that's the one video they have shared everywhere all over Twitter. Nobody cares about that. You don't check that when you go into a mall. You know everything is made everywhere else. You don't care about quality controls. If it feels good, if it feels like it's made out of material that's going to last, you'll buy it. So I don't see the value in it. And that's just from my view. I don't see the value there. And this is why people always do this all the time. Hey, why don't you talk about VeChain? I do. Just you ask for a legit response. But right, to give you your fair side here, you're getting listed on Coinbase, and VeChain, out of the top 30 coins in crypto in 2021, only 6 of them out of the top 30 did better than average. Only 6. VeChain was one of them. Now, make more, lose more, right? And when markets pull back. And just because it went up one of the most in 2021 doesn't mean it would go up one of the most again in 2023 or 2024. But you've had success in regards to price appreciation on the token before. But will there be any actual use of it outside of just holding onto it to get more of another coin, kind of like we have, which Flare drives me nuts. You know what I mean? Just so why is there a coin? Why is there a token? That's kind of my point. If this was a business model that people did care about, there would likely just be some company that provides the service, you would think. It's okay. There you go. VeChain. For all the people who are going to ask about VeChain next week. Don't. Thank you, Austin. There you go, man. Texas Takeover. Wen Moon. Oops, sorry. I thought this was a Google search bar. We all care. We all care about Wen Moon. Find me Wen Shaman. Wen Mountain in sandals. Cyrus says, as the channel ages, use yourself focusing more on newer coins, not meme, or the market cap's too low for you to feel ethical doing so. Yeah, so it'll kind of always be this way. I won't really step too far out of the bigger stuff in the market. People will give you crap no matter what on any coins, even if it's in the top 5 for years and it doesn't do well. And you're like, oh, that sucks. I was in the top 5 the whole time. Like, ha! You don't know nothing. But if you really start venturing into, hey, here's rank number 293. This is the next hot thing. And then, your audience is like, oh, okay, cool. That sounds awesome. And then, of course it doesn't. There's like a 99% chance that thing is going to get just wrecked city. And that's been a thing on my channel. We've never done that. I've never ventured out of that. So you guys have never had the, hey, I found this new coin. Let me tell you all about it. That has never happened on this channel. Never will. We don't do meme coins on here too. We'll talk about stuff like things that have become of relevance, right? And we're not promoting them. We're not saying, oh, it's going to go up in the next run. You can talk about your Doge, you can talk about your SHIB and your Pepes that are all there in your top 50. But we're not talking about them in a manner of like, hey, these are the next thing. It's going to be exciting and this is going to be YOLO. And I'm not here to pump and dump. And I think a lot of influencers hide behind meme culture. And now that's the way that it's marketed as pumping. They can pump and dump and market it differently. They get in early. They say, hey, check out this meme coin. It's super fun, guys. They're just pumping and dumping on you. It is literally that. But there is now this effective way of marketing to you, so where it's part of culture. But the only thing you're getting is a big fat pump and dump on you. And there's a lot of influencers doing it. They're getting in, then they tell you about it and give you the contract address. And the only thing they're doing is just straight up unethically pumping and dumping on you. It's garbage. Pisses me off. Thank you, Osiris. Crypto Keeper, have you seen the movie trailer for Dumb Money? I haven't. Oh, sweet. Is it out? Don't play a trailer on me. I don't want. Okay. Where can you watch it? It's on Prime. That's cool. Dumb Money. Please tell me there's a laser eye in there. Tyler Kulak, can you talk about EOS thoughts? It's been brutal. EOS is doing exactly what the rest of the market is doing. And for the last year, we've talked about it's being abandoned. But it's no different than the rest of the market. Kevin Smith, hey BCB, must make you laugh how many when moons you get all the time. I do, man. That being said, what will the XRP price be on my 42nd birthday? Thanks, dude. Yep. I often talk about it too, that people are very clever in it. People are very clever in what their when moon is. They'll phrase it in any way possible just to try to get something. Big O says, hey, BCB, I know you are going on BitBoy later, but doesn't he pump and dump stuff all the time? I don't follow BitBoy's pump and dumps if there is. I know that, you got to understand there's a big microscope underneath on him, right? Watching him at all times. I don't know. I don't follow his stuff. I'm just going to, assume he's doing what he's doing and hopefully working in the best interest, whether he's done stuff in the past or not, which I think he's admitted to some stuff. I don't even pay attention to it. I'm staying in my lane. But any opportunity I have to educate a larger audience doesn't matter, right? Whatever your opinion is of the person who's on the show, in the end, there's all these other people who are watching and they get an opportunity to learn. So if I can have an opportunity to educate people, dude, I'm going to take it. But, I have no inside knowledge into anything like that. And, Ben's been kind to me. We've gotten along and, we do the show together and that's, it. Cody Heminger, new member, welcome. And then Alpha Trader. I saw this come through earlier. For $10, what size birthday cake can we get Crypto Pigeon on 50x leverage? I know you did it right after I made that joke, and I saw that come through. I did laugh. I was saying other stuff, but I was laughing in my own head when you did that. Code 9, thank you very much. New member, Brandon Lai, please give your opinion on BCH. Man, I think we cover that 5 times a day. It's been accumulating for a year and it has broken to the upside. Very simple. So I think we've covered this in probably every video, but we have the same structures everywhere. Looking good. Now it's about, let's see if we can get through its first resistance level, right? So this was the first one, right? There's Wyckoff accumulation. Now we're moving up to the next one and see if we can get through the next one. But it should be a celebrating thing. Well, it's funny how this market is. Blockchain Packer, you know nothing about Bitcoin Cash. Then it breaks out. Blockchain Packer, what about Bitcoin Cash? It's the same story about EOS I'm about too. That it'll eventually happen today. Oh no! Oh no! It's going. Code 9, gifted 5 Blockchain Bagger memberships. Thank you, my dude. Thank you very much. Tyler Kulak, message retracted. Thank you. There you go. Then you thought, there you go. That was the EOS one. Pi says, let's get the likes up to 1K. I agree with that. I actually fully agree with his statement. I think that's a good statement that he made. Yes, block proof support. Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. If you guys don't know that, then who are you even? Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. For those who don't know, who were not here in 2017, that really happened. There was this massive movement of Bitcoin Cash is the real Bitcoin. And Bitcoin Cash fired to $4,300. It was an amazing time. It was unreal. And the whole narrative all over all social medias everywhere was this real thought process that Bitcoin Cash was the real Bitcoin. It was crazy. Yes, Mr. Q, Bitcoin is the fake Bitcoin. All right. Pin. You know I want to say the other thing whenever I read that. It says, thoughts on coin. When collab? So coin. Yeah, I mean, I own me some Coinbase. Let's see. We go back to green in the stock market. Very bueno. All right, Coinbase is green. And I don't have it on here. It's kind of like it's hit or miss of whether or not this thing shows up on here. Let's go to, it might be in this one. There it is. That's the box. Every time I've pulled this up on here, that's been the box that I have. That's just kind of my thoughts on first locations of areas of interest for me. If you can't tell, Coinbase, same thing. It's been a Wyckoff accumulation happening in here the whole time. Just like we've seen in the rest of the market, right? May, all the way through here. And really showing more of a last point of support rather than a spring phase, right? That's why Wyckoff can be difficult in these ending phases here. Whereas we really have seen a spring in a lot of assets over there in crypto. We're seeing a last point of support style over here in Coinbase. So for me, it's just about back up here. I think my average price is like $46 is my average on Coinbase. And yeah, I'll probably ditch half of it here and then just let the rest ride. So looking for like around somewhere in the 140s. And we'll see if it has the ability to go into anything crazier than that. Gator says, I'll tell you what I did when I was a little kid. I went to school. I made my bed. And at age 11, I audited my parents. Believe me, there were some discrepancies and I was grounded. Have a blessed day. That sounds like something that would be from like Ozark. Is it? It just sounds like it would be. Like that's what the dad. Oh, the others. Oh, it's Will Ferrell. Yeah. Right on. All right, cool. Well, we've got it. Let's take a look at the market. We'll go ahead and get this thing right. Oh, yeah, I got to go. I'm supposed to go on a live stream. Okay. We got Coinbase, the winner of this morning, with Roblox and Google as the losers this morning. We got all yields are up this morning. We got indexes up this morning. Gold popped back. See, gold didn't you get down to the 18s? Yeah, gold got way down there. Gold got down from 1911 to 1892 back to 1910. So little pop back there for gold again. There we go. Terrence Rafferty, roses are red and blues. Roses are red, violets are blue. Summary judgment July 16th, and then XRP moons. Take that, riddlers. I thought it was July 18th, dude. I think it was July 18th, bro. You got to modify it. Thank you, though. Thank you, Terrence. All right. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and start going through the wrap up in here. Like I said, there won't be a video today. So if you're looking for some content from me, you can check out the 40 fresh new videos that are put over here on bcbacker.com. All recorded by me, all similar to the YouTube channel. If you like the YouTube channel content, it's $39. There's no subscription fees, no recurring payments. There's a plethora of content over here, and a lot of stuff you guys requested with Elliott waves and Wyckoff method, and really kind of diving into a lot of the data and the history of the cryptocurrency market performance to get like a better understanding of how this market has behaved in the past and some of the changes that have happened and some of the things that have still to this date just remained consistent. And then talking about a lot of other stuff just from market experience and things that are really kind of important. Some of the data we don't really see on the chart, but that can help impact of like what changed in this market is that not everything was a winner like in 2017. So is there any other data we can look at to maybe help imply which ones can be weeded out from there? Talking about crowd behavior, somebody brought up meme coin mania, right? And then, of course, the thing that most people care about a lot, getting the emotions under control. That's the whole point of all of it, is to not feeling like you're in such a dark cloud, but having a better understanding of just what's going on in markets and not feel so lost. So it's what I try to do on the channel, at least. That's what we did here. So, all right, 40 videos on there, fresh new content. Time to wrap it up. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.